And a lot of those people don't even know you. They don't pay your bills, they didn't pay your school fees, but they feel like they must have 2 cents. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, thank you so much for tuning in. Please do subscribe down below and join the squad. And to all my new subscribers, the family is growing. Thank you so much for joining us. Please leave a comment down below if you are new. I really want this to be like a very interactive platform where we all chat and get to know each other. Also, if you subscribe to my channel and you have a YouTube channel but I haven't subscribed back, please leave a comment so I can sort that out. I just realized YouTube doesn't sort of tell you who has a channel and who just uses their YouTube to watch YouTube videos. So yeah, if you have a channel and I haven't subscribed, please just let me know and I will do that right away. Not right away, but like when this video goes up and you see it, that is when I will do it. So in today's video, I'm doing a 24@24 tag. I've seen a lot of people doing them lately. Well, it doesn't have to be 24@24, but it's more of like 18@18. I just turned 24, so I'm doing the 24@24, but if I was 20, I would do the 20@20. So today I'm going to be chatting about 24 things that I've learned and I'm grateful for. So it's like a mixed bag, and we're just going to be chatting, very chilled, very laid back. So grab your tea and enjoy. I have my little book here because sis keeps me in check because I ramble, and I'm really trying to keep this as short but engaging as possible. So the first thing I'm grateful for is provision, financial provision, food, employment, everything basically. I've never really gone without in my life, and that may sound like a regular thing for a lot of people, but it's not. So I'm really grateful for that, also because it's just a testament of God's grace, because I don't deserve any of the things I've been given in my life, I feel. I think that's just really God showing his love and showing that his grace it's not something you work for, it's just something that's there because he loves you and he wants you to have it. So I'm really grateful for provision. Number 2, I'm gonna do one thing I'm grateful for and then one thing I've learned. So 2 is something I've learned. Take people with a pinch of salt, and by that I mean, well, I'm a person who likes to see the good in people, and he can't possibly do that. Oh, she wouldn't do that. No, I'm pretty sure she has a reason why. Some people really, when people show you who they are, like, believe them. I see that a lot on Twitter, and it really is true, guys. Not everyone will always have your best interest at heart. People might come across as like really amazing people and then they'll scam you. So just always, it's not nice being skeptical of people because you do want to believe that people are good people, but there's some people that really aren't. So sometimes you just have to sort of question a little, probe, really make sure that this person is walking the walk and talking the talk in whatever it is they're doing. So yeah. Number 3 is I'm grateful for protection. I've never been robbed or like mugged or start walking somewhere. I've never been in a really bad car accident. And it's another thing we take for granted. Actually, I think I'm going to be talking about a lot of things that we take for granted. You could leave the house and come back in one piece. Your neighbor might leave the house and not come back because something happened to them. So it's always just really important to be grateful for that and to always just be conscious of the fact that, again, it's God's grace, that you're alive and that you're moving around and that nothing's happening to you. Number 4, people come and go. Not everyone is going to be in your life forever, which is something I've had to learn the hard way in my life. But I think some people are meant to be in your life for a season. Maybe they're meant to learn something from you, or you're meant to learn something from them. And when you feel like, okay, I think, me and this friend or me and this person aren't on the same page anymore, and you're drifting apart naturally, like, I think just let it go. There's no need to try and like force friendships and force relationships, because that's when things go wrong. And yeah, you don't want to put yourself through unnecessary like heartache, because like friendship breakups are, I think, are worse than relationship breakups in my opinion, because now you'll see like a song or you'll see something, you're like, oh no, this person would have liked it but you don't talk anymore, so now it's like, so should I tell them, should I not? So yeah, people come and go. It sucks, but I think just be always grateful for the nice memories that you guys had together. Keep them in your thoughts. If things didn't end so well and you don't do bad things, I'm not going to force you. But yeah, number 5, another thing I'm grateful for is health. Never been seriously ill, don't have a chronic illness. It's another thing that we take for granted. Again, yeah, I don't know if I have anything else to say about health. Also, actually, in this economy in Zim, being healthy is amazing because even if you're on medical aid, whether you're on or not, healthcare in Zim is expensive. Getting basic painkillers is just, the pricing just doesn't make sense sometimes. So just be really grateful that you are healthy and that you're okay. I'm grateful that I'm healthy and that I'm okay. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I want to say on that. I'm really trying to keep this like concise because I don't want to ramble. Number 6 is one thing I've learned is that no one is coming to save you. Nobody. And I mean that in terms of like the things that you want to achieve and your life goals and your general outlook on life. You need to do things for yourself. If you want something, you need to work towards it. I used to be one person who would list a lot of things, I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that, and then just sort of wait for it to fall into my lap. And now I'm just like, sis, what were you doing? Does that even make sense to you, for you to write something down and then not actually make plans towards getting it done? It doesn't make sense. Like, fine, planning is really good. I'm a planner. But now it's, okay, I want to do this. How do I get there? How long is it going to take me? And then now we work towards the things that we want to work towards. You need to be progressing. You can't just sit and expect things to happen when you don't work for them. Because at the end of the day, it's your life. There is no one else to blame to a certain extent but you if things don't work out. Yes, there's like the economy and there's other things going on, but you also need to then take accountability for yourself and be like, okay, did I really do as much as I could to get this done? If you didn't, then you need to take stock of yourself, take stock of your life, and sit down and be like, okay, am I getting in my own way? Because that's the worst thing. You don't want to wake up one day and realize, you know what, I'm the reason why things didn't work out. So please remember, nobody's coming to save you. No one. Number 7, I'm grateful for friends. I think I've had the best bunch of friends. I think we all have the best bunch of friends, I'd like to say, in our lives. You know, friends you can laugh with, friends that motivate me just by being themselves. You know, we can not chat maybe for 2-3 weeks, but just by me like watching their Instagrams, watching their stories, or just looking back on their lives, I'm like, wow, I have really cool friends. Like, if so-and-so can do that, so can I. You know, so-and-so is getting their masters, I want to get my masters. So-and-so started a business, maybe I should start something of my own. You know, maybe not a business, I don't think I'm a businessy person, but you know, just having people that you look up to, and it's from a point of like, wow, these people are really amazing. Also, I have friends that really call me out and will be like, no sis, this ain't it. No, none of my friends will coddle me. They coddle me when it's necessary, not when I'm clearly in the wrong and I'm being ridiculous. They're not going to say like, oh no, definitely you were very right. They'll be like, no sis, you were wrong, snap out of it, you should have done X, Y, Z. You know, maybe next time approach the situation like that instead. And I really think it's important to have people like that in your life, because you don't want to be surrounded by people who don't call you out, because you will never be fully accountable for yourself or your actions. You will always blame other people and the world and etc, and never really think, oh, maybe I might have had a part to play in this situation. Anyways, point number 8, something I've learned is that people will always have something to say. Whether you're doing well or whether you're not doing well, people will always talk. So don't let that get in the way of things you want to do. Don't let it get in the way of starting your channel, starting your blog, starting your cooking page, whatever it is you want to go for, just go for it, because someone will always have something to say. And a lot of those people don't even know you. They don't pay your bills, they didn't pay your school fees, but they feel like they must have 2 cents. Please ignore them. Surround yourself by obviously the people who support you. Accept constructive criticism from people. There's nothing wrong with getting, you know, criticism that's going to make your page or your business better. That's fine. But don't pay any mind to people who just want to bash you. I think sometimes people have a lot of internal issues that they like to project on other people. So if it's not constructive, if it doesn't if it doesn't help you in any way, just ignore it and keep doing you. Number 9, I'm grateful for family. My family's been really supportive. I know I wanted to do medicine when I was in lower 6, upper 6, and then when I started doing uni applications, I was like, oh no, I think I want to do biochemistry, and people are like, well, what the hell is biochemistry? And even with all of that and explaining to people and, you know, reasoning why I really didn't want to do medicine, I was never forced to do medicine. My parents were like, okay, that's what you want to do. If you have some sort of plan, then cool. And everything worked out. So I'm really grateful that, you know, things worked out and everyone was on board. My mom would be sending me articles and she's like, you know, in 5 years you're going to be this person. You know, I can see my daughter being a virologist. Like, she really proper got on board with everything that I wanted to do, and I'm really grateful for that. And then number 10, something I've learned is you can be more than one thing. Don't put yourself in a box. I put myself in some sort of box. I don't know why I did that, but I was like, okay, I'm a scientist. I like science, I like diseases, I like public health, you know. I can't possibly be a YouTuber. I can't possibly also enjoy hair and makeup. What if people say, you know, but I thought she was a scientist, but now she wants to do YouTube. So what? So what? You can, there's so many things that we are all able to do. We're all multifaceted humans. Don't let that, you know, get in the way of you expressing yourself. If you are an accountant, but you also like shoot, it's okay. It's okay. It goes back to the whole, like, everyone always has something to say, but at the end of the day, you need to do things for yourself, things that you enjoy. Maybe they might not work so well together according to other people, but if it's something that you enjoy and if it's something that brings you joy, then I don't see why, you know, you should be not allowing yourself to do things simply because it doesn't make sense. And then number 11, I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful that God gives me, well, I'm Christian, so all of my grateful things are coming from God's grace and, you know, God being in my life. But I'm grateful that, you know, God gives me the chance to wake up in the morning. Again, you can go to sleep and God might be like, okay, that was your last day on earth. You're not waking up tomorrow. I saw something that said, you know, it's not your alarm that wakes you up. God wakes you up. Your alarm could ring, but if you're not there anymore, you're not going to wake up. So I'm really grateful that I get to wake up and see another day. It means for me that there's something else, there's something more for me to do on this earth. So, you know, I still have time to live out my purpose. And number 12, one thing I've learned is that unlearning is very important. Especially when I got to uni, it was a big culture shock to a certain extent. And I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I was really judgmental. And then at some point I realized, you know what, I might have been living in a very conservative country, a very sheltered community, but there's so many different types of people out there, different cultures. The world is huge, guys. So it's okay to unlearn something that you've maybe built your whole life around. And now you're here like, okay, so what does this mean? Where do I go from here? What do I believe in now? It's really hard. Sometimes it's a lot easier to just stick to your belief and really not consider the fact that, you know, this is something that you could unlearn and learn something new. But I think it really is important. I've done a lot of unlearning on Twitter, which is pretty cool. Twitter isn't always the greatest place for you to have like constructive conversations, but some people do really nice threads on there that sort of just explain things, break them down with proper reasoning, and from there you can decide, okay, you know what, I used to think this way, I used to believe in this, but I think, you know, this makes a lot more sense to me, and that is perfectly fine. Okay, number 13. One thing I'm grateful for is employment. The unemployment rate in Zim is really, really high. And when I moved back home, that was my biggest fear, like, okay, I'm home. Was this even the right decision to make? Because at that point, I really just wanted to be home. I was done with Cape Town, and even when I got home, everyone was like, why did you come back? Blah, blah, blah. But it's just really hard to explain that. At that point, mentally, I just needed to be home. I was done. If I'm going to go back to Cape Town at some point in my life, that's fine. But at that very point, I just really needed to be home. And I was like, okay, what? You know what? We're moving home. I hope I find a job. If I don't know what's going to happen. And that was really just so nerve-wracking. Being at home, job hunting, not getting jobs, not even getting like responses from people, guys. Like, you'd send out so many emails and people don't even respond and say, oh no, sorry, we don't have vacancies. They just like don't respond. So that was a big thing, but I managed to get a job in my field, guys, and it's a job that's really opened my eyes to the amount of things that I could do in the future and things that I enjoy. It's given me a lot more direction that I had before, and I don't think if I moved back home, maybe I would have only discovered like clinical research and clinical science at a much later stage. But things just worked out the way that they should have. and I'm really grateful for that. And number 14, one thing I've learned is to question things. When someone says something to you, ask them why. Not out of like, because you want to argue for the sake of arguing, but just for you to get a better understanding of where someone's coming from or why a situation is the way it is. Like, don't just take things sitting down. Ask. There's nothing wrong with asking and getting more clarification. Even in lectures, guys, I never used to ask questions, and it was just really, really strange. I think I was shy or nervous, I don't know, until I realized, look, my parents are not paying for me to sit here and not ask questions. And that really just extended to like the rest of my life, because I was like, if I don't understand something, there is no reason for me not to ask. I think I was always just really shy about it, but I'm really growing out of that, and I'm really excited, because questioning is very important. Don't take things sitting down, because then you get to a point and you're like, oh no, but maybe if I had asked, then things would have gone a certain way, etc, etc. Number 15, I am grateful for growth, which is personal growth. I'm definitely not the same person I was 3-4 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago. I think that was still high school, maybe not, I don't know. But you know, just the learning, the unlearning, realizing what I don't like, what I do like, what I am for, what I am not for. It's been a journey, and I'm really happy with who I am right now and who I'm becoming. And yeah, all of the experiences I've gone through in my life have all contributed to who I am today. So I'm very grateful for growth. I think it's really important for us all to grow as people. You can't be the same person that you were 5 years ago now. Like, something needs to change. You need to be evolving. You need to be becoming a better version of yourself all the time. Unless maybe you've reached that better version of yourself, that's fine. The next thing I have learned is learn to say no. That was the hardest thing. You know, someone will be like, oh, you know, I'm working on this. Do you want to be a part of it? I'm like, yeah, sure. Do you want to meet at this point? Yeah, sure. Do you want to do this? Yeah, sure. And you know, in the end, I'd get to a point where I'm like, I really actually don't want to do this, so why did I say yes? And then eventually I'll just be like, oh no, you know what, you guys can go ahead without me. Or no, I don't think I have time to help you out with this, I'm sorry, but no. And it's, if you're surrounded by people who understand you, then saying no isn't a big deal. No one's going to be offended by the fact that, oh, Tawanda said no because she doesn't want to help you. No, like, you need to get that sometimes. Some people that maybe don't have the mental capacity, the emotional capacity, the physical capacity to be there for you or to help you, or maybe even if it's just hanging out. Like, there's so many times in my friends have gone, I'm like, you know what, you guys can go. I really don't feel like coming. And no one would take it personally. It's just like, oh no, she doesn't want to come out tonight. It's okay. Learn to say no. Learn to accept when someone says no. Don't always take things personally. Sometimes it's just a no. It's not the end of the world. We will move on from it. Number 17. One thing I'm grateful for is the internet. I've learned so much from the internet. Like I said, I've learned a lot on Twitter. You can take free online courses, learn how to program on the internet. I think the internet has really sort of changed life as we know it. And of course, there's the nasty side and the bad side that I don't want to get into. But I'm just really grateful for how it's connected us all, like FaceTime, Snapchat, social media. It's really cool to be in an age where we've sort of started from the bottom, like with dial-up and the landlines, and moving towards the smartphones and the internet and the 5G that's coming soon and whatever. I think we have like a pretty cool story, a pretty cool bunch of stories to tell our kids when they're grown and stuff. And then what, I keep losing. See, my problem is I didn't number these like 1, 2, 3, 4. All my numbers are all over the place, and now I'm looking for number 18 and I can't find it. Number 18. One thing I've learned is to call out my friends. So I'm a person who doesn't like conflict unless it's very necessary, and you know, I'm not happy with this, I'm gonna tell you I didn't like what you did. If it's like a small thing, I don't care. If I don't like to waste my energy on things that really won't matter in the long run. But one thing I have learned to do is be like, yo friend, this one isn't okay. Like, I know you're upset and I know you feel like, you know, you're justified in what you did or in what you're thinking, but the fact of the matter is XYZ. this isn't on, this is not you, I don't know what you're doing, I don't know what's going on. If you want to chat about it, let's chat. But you know, I can't sit here and smile at you when I'm not happy with this, or when I think this is wrong, or when I think you're doing the wrong thing. So that's one thing I've learned to do, is call out my friends, because I care about my friends. I don't want to see my friends, you know, go down the wrong path or just be doing the wrong thing just because I didn't want to offend them or like ruffle up some feathers. I don't do that anymore. Number 19, I'm grateful for happy memories with families, like family parties, family road trips, just family gatherings in general. I'm really grateful that, you know, we can be sitting down at dinner tonight and talk about something that happened 10 years ago, and we'll be laughing and stuff like that. And it's just really nice to have like memories that you can look back on and be like, oh yeah, this was a really happy time. Like when you're having a crap day, you have good memories to remind you that things are going to be okay and that things were okay once upon a time. On to the next one, number 20. I've learned to accept criticism. I can be very defensive, and so, you know, people would come to me and say, you know, maybe you should have done something like this. I'm like, no, but then I feel like people don't understand me because I was just trying to do this, and I would get quite offended by people who were just trying to help me, but now I don't anymore. Criticism isn't always nice to receive. Someone will say something that you don't like, and it might be true, and it's going to help you become a better person, but it doesn't mean you're gonna like how it feels when someone tells you that. But the one thing I've learned is that it's not coming from a place of hate or a place of, you know, I want to make you suffer and I'm gonna say this, I want to hurt you. No, it's I want you to be a better person. I think, you know, you should go in this direction instead. So I'm really not grateful, but I've learned to accept criticism when it's something that's going to be good for me in the long run. Number 21, I'm grateful for music. I think we all are. Music has really, it's just one of those things that I don't think, like, imagine the world without music, guys. How many songs do you hear that remind you of a specific moment, or like songs that remind you of high school, songs that remind you of like second year uni, songs that remind you of when you were 5? It's just the way music is a part of our lives is something I'm really grateful for. I'm really grateful for the type of music that my parents exposed me to as well. I listened to like Bryan Adams and Ronan Keating and a whole bunch of other people, and that's because my parents were like, you know what, this is good music, you guys are gonna listen to it. And when we were kids, it's like, but now I have like Bryan Adams on my phone. We vibe to Bryan Adams, and I think that's pretty cool that my parents sort of shared their love of music with us. Like my mom has all of these tapes from all of these artists, they have CDs, they have like the whole shebang. That's a pretty cool thing I grew up with. Number 22, I've learned that life is not fair. It's not. And again, I'm a lost one. Someone's like, oh, that's not fair, I want to do this, and no, but I want to do that. But fact of the matter is, things aren't always going to go your way. Your life isn't always going to be the best that it could be. Some people have billions of dollars. I don't. Some people are, you know, living their best lives. Not a care in the world. Some people don't have to work as hard as you have to work, and that's just life. Those are the cards they were handed, these are the cards you were handed. So now I look at it from point, okay, I want to get to this point. What do I have now? What do I need to get to this point? How much effort do I need to put? Does this make sense, you know, in terms of direction? And it sucks, guys. Life is just really not fair. I wish it was, but it's not. And you then need to be like, okay, I'm not happy with this, I want to move on, I want to get to point XYZ, and how am I going to do that? And number 23 is I've learned to be a lot kinder to myself, which I think is something we can all relate to. I was never, how can I say this? Oops, whoops. Okay, number 23, I've learned to be kinder to myself in terms of, you know, my goals and my grades and things that I want to achieve in life. I used to be like, okay, I had like a little 5-year plan, I still do. And then, you know, when I realized I'm really not on track, as on track as I wanted to be, I really beat myself down about it. I'm like, hey, look at so-and-so, they're at this point in their lives, what are you doing, where are you in life? And it's really debilitating, and you really have to stay in your lane because everyone's timing is different. You don't know what Tanaka has gone through to be at that point in their lives. You don't know what Sally has been through to be at that point in their lives. And no one knows what you are going through for you to get to that point that you want to get to in your life. So if things don't work out, okay, let's sit, let's be sad, but let's also then move on and see how we can still work towards it. Yes, I might not have reached my goal at the age of 24 or something, but that doesn't mean it's over. It doesn't mean I'm not going to reach it. Also, we are still very young, and I feel like sometimes there's this pressure of trying to get things done by the time you're 30. I don't know why it's 30, but there is so much more after 30. 30 isn't a death sentence just because you haven't reached your financial goals or your physical goals, whatever goals you have by 30 or by the certain age that, you know, society has sort of deemed as appropriate for you to have all your things together. It doesn't mean that you must stop or that you failed. It just means that you have more time to do it. So be kind to yourself. I'm not saying like, you know, then don't hold yourself accountable and mope around for like months on end and not work towards your goals because you're being kind to yourself. No, take the time that you need because that's really important. Also, make sure you're in a good mental space. Once you're back in a good mental space, then get back up and work towards it. It's not the end of the world. And then the last thing I have learned is that everything works out even when you don't think it will, or when you don't see what's happening, you know, in the background in the future. Sometimes you don't get maybe the master's grade that you wanted, you don't get the job that you wanted, you don't get the raise that you wanted, and you can just be like, okay, but you know, at God or at the universe, I thought, you know, this was my time, I worked hard, I put in the work, I wrote a really good essay, or I've been reaching all my targets at work, why isn't this working out for me? And then maybe 6 months to a year down the line, something else happens and it makes everything make sense. It puts everything into perspective, like, oh, if I had gotten this raise or this promotion at this time, I wouldn't have been at XYZ, I wouldn't have been exposed to ABC. So it sucks, guys, it really sucks. I'm not here to like tell you to get over things quickly because they didn't work out and then let's move on. It really hurts when you work for something and you don't get it and you can't possibly understand why. But one thing I have learned is that things work out the way they're meant to eventually. So that is the last thing I want to leave you guys with. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope it should be less than 24 minutes. I'm going to try and edit it down as much as I can. But thank you so much for joining today. Please do leave a comment down below of something you've learned along the way in your life that you want to share, or if you can relate, please leave a comment down below. And that is the end of today's video, and we will see you guys in the next one.